Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Sue. So if you guys have already seen my first wedding series videos, you guys would have known that I pretty much lay it all out there about details about my wedding from the beginning to the ending. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys a bunch of things that I personally think you don't necessarily need for your wedding. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Sue. I do beauty, life, luxury, hauls, unboxings, reviews, first impressions, and this series is going to be all about weddings. The first thing that I honestly think you do not need is a huge bridal party. I've seen photos all over Instagram and it's just crazy. I see sometimes the bridal party can just be just for the women. It's like 9 of them or even 10 of them, and then you've got the guys at the same amount. Like, how are you guys doing this? How are you guys all collaborating together and having this many people? Because honestly, it's so hard to get everybody to agree to go somewhere and to do something. Because you gotta think about it, right? How often do you get that you just text your family members or your friends and you have 2 or 3 of them in that group and you text one and like the other one doesn't answer for days? You know what I mean? My bridal party, I think I had about 7. Okay, I had 7 total bridesmaids, including my maid of honor. My husband did the same to balance out the women on my side. That was already difficult enough. Obviously, if I could do it again, I would keep it the same, just to take the stress away from those of you who are planning on getting married, future brides. You do not need that many bridesmaids. Honestly, you can just do 2, 3. I think that's more than enough. I just think it just takes a lot of weight off of the bride. Even though she wasn't the one handling the bridal party or the bachelorette party, she still gotta reach out to everybody because those are all the people she chose to be in the bridal team. I just feel like it's a huge headache. You honestly don't need that much stress. The second thing I think you don't necessarily need for your wedding is save the dates. I mean, unless you have a lot of people coming from out of town, then I guess it makes sense. But if you don't, then I think invitations works just fine. They're already expensive. Invitations can go for like hundreds of dollars. We did save the dates. I did some magnets, so customized magnets, and that was a couple $100. But if you don't have that couple $100 because you need to use it for the invitations, you can definitely cut it out. Just send your invitation early enough, a quick text, a quick call to let the person from out of town know that, hey, wedding's coming up. Look out for the invitations that I'm going to be sending out in the next few months. They're at least aware so they can get the dates off, especially if they're people that you want at your wedding and they're important people in your life. It's not easy. You don't need save the dates. The third thing that I think you do not need is 2 dresses. I just think it's a little extra. I can be extra, but I think that's definitely extra. Now, I get it if your dress that you chose is a super poofy dress or a super long flowing dress that you can't walk in. We're super heavy with all this embellishment and crystals and whistles. I guess it makes sense if you want to have something that's not that extra when you're actually dancing on a dance floor for the reception. So you go for something more comfortable, something short. That's what I see people do a lot. They will wear a big poofy dress, and then during the reception they'll wear like a short sexy dress to dance in. If you guys have looked into dresses are one of the top items that cost the most for weddings. They can range from a couple $100 to thousands of dollars, even tens of thousands of dollars. Just imagine if you got a dress for like $2,000. Plus you gotta pay the tax, right? Plus you gotta get it altered, and alterations can be in the thousands if you guys didn't know that. Lucky enough, my dress fit me perfectly, so all I had to do was just hem it, and I sew a little bit on this. I have a little bit of a sewing experience on this side, so I was able to cut my dress and hem it. I saved money there. If you don't know how to, you gotta buy the dress, taxes, alterations. The second dress costs, the taxes, and then the alterations for that too. So keep that in mind if you do plan on getting 2 dresses for your wedding. Let's talk about assigned seating. You do not need assigned seatings at your wedding. I totally get it. For many of us, you want assigned seatings because when a guest gets to the reception and they're like, well, where do I go? Where do I sit? Who do I sit with? Totally get that. For my wedding, I actually did table seatings. It just turns out that it was a little bit breezy that afternoon or that evening. My day coordinator told me that she asked me, well, like, hey, is it okay if I don't use these because they're kind of moving around, blowing off? Or it's fine, just scratch it, toss it, we don't need it. As long as we have the table chart, guests can come see where they're supposed to go, and then they can just go sit at the table that they're assigned to. So we did assigned tables. Originally, my idea was that, hey, sometimes half your party can be introverts, right? If they're gonna go to a wedding with a bunch of people and that they don't know, if they end up going by themselves, they're gonna go and they're gonna sit with people that they don't know. Even if it's a table that I assign, they're gonna sit next to people that they know. So but if you actually assign a seat, then that introvert person can just go sit there and be like, hey, well, this is my seat. I'm sitting here. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And that was my idea, because I was like, what if the introvert goes, and even though they're assigned that table, they are like, do I sit with this person? This person looks a little bit of an extrovert, kind of loud, kind of out there. Do I sit with this person? At the end of the day, again, it worked out. For those of you, I've been through it. You do not need to have table seatings. Fifth thing that you do not necessarily need for your wedding is a huge, massive cake. I seen photos all over social media of these huge, gigantic cakes, and I just think it's insane. I mean, it's probably fake. They probably have huge fake cake with just a small little cake up there where they can slice it. If you don't have a fake cake, you do not need a huge 4-tier cake. Cakes can go from a couple $100s to a couple $1,000 and save some money there. And honestly, not a lot of people like cake. Not a lot of people is gonna eat the cake or get a chance to eat the cake. What I did was I did a cake that was gonna be able to feed around 70 and 80 people, and that was still a couple $100. And then I did on the side a bunch of cupcakes. It just worked out. Everybody loved the cupcakes. I think I had like no more cupcakes left. I still had some cake leftovers. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna eat the cake. Definitely, if you're trying to save money, you can definitely do a small cake and then just cut the cake with you and your spouse and do some side desserts, cookies. We had cookies, we had macaroons, and then we had the cupcakes. Another thing that you don't necessarily need for your wedding is a lot of variety of alcohol. We chose to do an open bar. Open bar can be quite expensive, especially if you have a venue that is exclusive. Then you have to go through their people and their alcohol, and they sell by, sometimes they sell by a glass, sometimes they sell hourly. Just varies, and depending on the packages that they have offered and the package that you choose. And on top of that, you gotta pay, I don't know, they have like a service fee, then you gotta pay for gratuity. Everything just adds up on top of each other, and it can get quite expensive. For us, we got married at the church, so we were able to go through like a outside vendor, and the church just required us to have a licensed bartender. So we hired a licensed bartender, and then he helped us with choices for alcohol. He was super professional, super nice, was on his A game with everything, give some really good suggestions, helped me with like how much alcohol I needed to get. We ended up having 4 different types of alcohol. We did whiskey, vodka, tequila, and then rum. We did whiskey because his family, they love whiskey. My family loves rum, and then a lot of people love tequila, so I had to get that. I wanted to keep it simple, so I did like a her drink. I kind of forgot what I did for my drink. Oh, I think for my drink, I just did a shot of rum. For his drink, it was something mixed with whiskey. The side drink was cranberry vodka, because I know that seems to be a really popular drink for a lot of people. And everything else was just, if they wanted shots, they can get shots. We kept it simple, just 3-4 drinks, and we had some beer on the side. So you definitely could just keep it really simple. You don't need to have like over 6, 7, 8 variety of choices of alcohol, because if you do that, you got to get the garnishes for it, you got to get the mixers for it. The last thing that I want to add is that you do not necessarily need party favors. I know that party favors is just something great to do for your guests, whether you're at a house party, at a bridal shower, at a baby shower. Party favors are a thing to take with you, but honestly, just from past experience, half of my party favors that I had when I did baby showers and the bridal shower, they were just, nobody really took them anyways, and so half of that would just be leftovers. I actually thought of doing something, and I was like, what if I can think of something that people would use? I could do little bottles of liquor, this little bottle of liquor you see at the liquor store that people can do like single shots. I was thinking of doing that, buying a whole bunch and then just ribboning it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Some people don't drink. I was like, I could do coasters. Coasters are really cute. It seems to be in right now. But then I was like, well, a lot of people don't use coasters too. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna scratch party favors completely. And I think it was fine. Nobody said anything at all. I mean, if they did, at least I don't know about it. But you honestly, I don't think you need party favors for your wedding. I'm just looking at my notes, and honestly, I think those are all the main things that I wanted to kind of share with you guys that you don't need for your wedding. That's not necessarily. Now, if you plan on doing any of these things for your wedding, by all means, go ahead. This is just my personal opinion from my experience, and I save a lot of money doing it this way. So if you want to save a little bit of money, definitely consider these tips that I'm giving out to you guys, tips or whatever you want to call it. If you guys have any questions or comments at all, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys have any advices about things you don't need, comment down below. If somebody's watching this video, they can read the comments and also see that, hey, I don't need that, or hey, I do need that. Besides that, I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.